Are you going anywhere, or are you taking this anywhere else other than Nantucket?
I tried to take it to the vineyard.
Yeah.
I tried to use the same speakers as I had on Nantucket in the 1 year in 1979 on the vineyard. We used to take the Inter-Island Ferry, and it was much harder than here to do this. I only did it 1 year because it was too nerve-wracking. The vineyard has 6 towns, and a lot of those people are not congenial with the town.
Oh, I see.
The town next to them or whatever. And I used to have a tent, and I would put the tent up on Nantucket to stay in. Granger Frost let me use a little piece of his property to put my tent.
Wow.
And then on the vineyard I had a place to put my tent so I could move it back and forth all the time and have a place on
You
both.
mean like you're just a woman solo living in a tent? Is that
You don't know.
never were worried about that, or?
I don't know whether to say this on television or not, but I traveled a lot by hitchhiking.
So did I.
Yeah, and so you know what I'm talking about?
I sure do.
Yeah, so I've hitchhiked all over the world, and living in a tent is, I don't make it public where I'm going to put my tent because I don't want any visitors.
You don't do this anymore, though.
Yes,
You're not
I do.
You're still hitchhiking?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
You might see me on the Sconset Road someday.
Okay, you know I'd pick you up
When
in
the
a
bus
second.
doesn't run, I hitchhike.
Oh my gosh! But only on Nantucket.
No, I've just,
Wow.
2013, I went around the Maritime Canada provinces.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Good for you. What was that like?
Oh, that was wonderful. I had been up there before, and I went back again and visited people in Newfoundland and
Oh my
up
gosh.
I went all the way up in Labrador and all the way around. My family's originally from Quebec, so I went in around Quebec, and
And you did this pretty much all by yourself.
yeah,
And so
it's hard.
was it? Weren't you scared? Weren't you worried that
No,
somebody might take
no.
advantage of you? And
No.
No, you are not.
No.
So what do you tell people? There must be some times when a situation comes up and you have to figure out what to do.
Yeah, I
right?
just get away from the person. I mean, I don't make a lot of trouble for the person. I don't start punching them or anything, but I just get out of the car and
Yeah.
get away. And I don't put my tent up in any place where it can be seen or where anyone's going to see me going in there. And, you know, I just finished camping in the Caribbean this past, let's see.
Good for you.
You
I didn't
should-
know
you've
this.
opened a
I
can
knew
of-
you were interesting. I didn't know how interesting you were.
You've opened a can of
I
worms
love
here.
it.
We're not talking about
You and I are
whales
birds
anymore.
of a feather, you know. I do the same kind of thing.
You do. I
Yes,
didn't know that.
Oh, my hero is Jack Kerouac.
Yeah.
When
Oh,
I read
God.
his book, I took off by myself in
Really?
the 80s and hitchhiked by myself to see if that world still existed.
Oh, it does.
It sure does.
It's
It's
wonderful.
all how you look at people anyway.
Yes.
It's all attitude.
Yes.
Right?
Yep. And
Isn't that interesting?
you know, that's why I say fluidity in travel is one of the big things that you want. You don't want a schedule. I remember this. I was going out into the South Pacific and I was trying to buy a ticket, a very low price ticket somehow on the internet, or, you know, in those days they had travel agents. And this travel agent in Florida said, "You've got to have reservations." She's talking to me like I didn't know, you know, anything. "And you've got to have reservations." She kept harassing me. "Don't you want me to make reservations from Bangkok when you're going to arrive?" And blah, 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 blah. And I finally said, "Ma'am, I'll pay you not to have a reservation." Then she got it, you know.
Now, but you never wanted to settle down, Jean? Never had.
I've settled
I mean, you're a
down.
very attractive lady. by the way. I'm
I've-
sure your whole life you've known,
I've
you know,
settled
men
down
have
at
always
various
come and.
times.
Yeah, oh, I see.
Yeah, in one period, 20 years, I didn't go more than 200 miles from my house. That's when I was going to college and graduate school, and then when that was over with, I was taking care of my parents, and they were elderly at the time, and
Oh, okay.
so, you know, But Nantucket was always within that 200 miles.
So did you have like a serious boyfriend or
Oh, yes.
here
yes.
here too, right?
Not
Where-
on Nantucket.
I see.
I had them, on the mainland. They came out here, yes.
Yeah, right. You can't keep them over there, right? You gotta have some
No.
room to move.
This is one of the most beautiful trees.
Isn't it?
That's one of the big trees on
It's
the
the classic one. There's so
That
few
is-
left, and that
yes.
is a beauty.
That, I think, is maybe the island champion.
You know, I have another piece of property in Maine.
Yeah, I know you do.
I mentioned it to you.
Yes,
And I was
yes.
just there a few
Yeah.
days ago by
What-
myself with my friend who has a boat. And we were the only ones out there, and there were whales everywhere.
Oh, no.
Even right whales are there. You would just, I mean, you can see them from shore.
I would have cracked
Nobody's
up.
up there, and it's like all whales.
I went up that way. That's how I got to Canada.
Right.
And Scott had told me that you had this place. And
You come up anytime you want. I got a nice house and a nice little apartment you could stay in if you
Wow.
want to go. And,
it's hard to get up there.
well, I could take you up sometime if I'm going, if you want to come up.
Sure.
Sure.
If it's quick, because
Yeah, it
if
would be,
I'm working.
yeah, of course.
When I went to Canada, it took me 2 days, I think, to get up there. I took a bus from Hartford to Boston and then up the coast, and then I got off the bus and camped behind this place for the night, and then got on the road again hitchhiking the next morning.
Oh.
And within 3 rides, I got someone who said he wouldn't tell me where he was going. And I said, well, I'm not getting in if you're not going to tell me where you're going. And he said, well, where are you going? And I said, I'm going to Canada. He said, okay, that's where I'm going. And he took me
You
right
trusted
to...
him after he said
Well,
that?
I talked to him briefly
Okay.
before I got in, and I could see that he wasn't nuts. He was just...
a free spirit kind of guy?
free spirit, but he had problems, and one of the reasons he said that he wanted to take me all day because he was having some kind of a little personal crisis or whatever. But he said he would be drinking all day if he didn't take me. And I said, well, if you're drinking, I'm not getting in. He said, that's why I'm taking you, because I know you won't let me drink, and period. So we made that pact before I got in the car. He had a very nice dog, and
Everything worked out fine?
everything worked out, and he didn't drink.
Unreal.
And the
gonna
woman
pull
who
over
picked
here.
me, the woman who picked me up before him was a minister, and I got her in touch. I tried to get her in touch with him because I think she could have helped him a little bit.
Okay, yes. Do you keep in contact with some of these people still? I mean,
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
I take their address. This is where I was working.
I know. But before you leave, I want to still talk to you a little bit more.
Okay.
I mean, if that's okay.
This had nothing to do with whales. Most of this
Well, we're going to talk
conversation.
about that. No, I wanted to know about you. I've
Okay.
seen you for so many years,
Yep.
and so I just wanted to get to know who you were and a little bit about your background. Now I understand who you are a little bit.
Okay.
So that's great. Now, I mean, obviously, people really love whales, and we're in protecting it. But you're trying to do something even more substantial, creating a heritage site for whales.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it would be recognized all over the world as such. And this organization is sort of modeled on the migratory bird organization, because migratory birds go through so many people's countries. They finally figured out that all the bird groups would get together and try to make it easy or protect the birds in their migrations. And so this group is now doing something like this for whales.
Now, when people are coming up to your
And they're-
little stand here,
Yes.
and they're signing your
Yes.
petition.
We have to
And- okay, what
petition
happens?
to the town of Nantucket
I see.
and I've gotten close to 700 signatures now. But prior to that, I was asking people to do things on the internet for whales, because they spend so much time online doing whatever. And I thought, why can't they do something for whales while they're online? So we give them an address. a couple of addresses that they can go to, websites, and we ask them to take these websites and send them to all their friends and ask them to send them to their friends. So you got 2 tiers of people.
Yeah.
Lots of people
Good.
finding out about whales and what's happening to them today. So that's one of the things I did this summer.
All right, so what are you going to do with the rest of your day?
I'm debating whether to set up my table again.
Oh, really?
And do some more work, or I haven't done any work for the woman where I live because I wanted to be on time for you. So,
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you.
so
All right, Jean, well, it was so much fun. I enjoyed it. I hope you did.
I did.
Good.
I don't
All
know
right.
what you can use
Is
of
there
it.
anything that I can do to help you with your...
No,
Do you want to set it up again? Or do you want? What do you want to do?
it's
you've
now-
already
it's now 3 o'clock.
Right.
I could set it up again and then work for another hour maybe and then go home. I want to go to a thing at the library. The library here, by the way, is absolutely fabulous.
Oh, I know.
1,000 programs a year. I know of no other library. Even I think the ones in New York and Boston do not do that.
Is that right? What kind of program?
This one is about the ocean, and it's the executive director of the Center for Coastal Studies in Provincetown. He's coming down tonight.
Nice.
Yeah.
Boy, that's terrific that you can see all these.
Yeah. Oh,
Terrific.
all the time.
All the time. Good. Take advantage of it, Jean. One more question. Where's your next hitchhiking trip if you were to take one? Where would you?
I'm
what were you
looking to
thinking?
use some of my airline mileage, and I have not been to places like Palau or the Philippines.
Oh.
I'm a little worried about the Philippines considering their new president.
Oh, I go there all the time.
Do you?
I know it very well.
Where's a good place? There's.
I just was doing, I have a show coming that's going to be on very soon about a guy from Nantucket who marries a Philippine woman
Yes.
and lives half of his life here working and the other half of his life there relaxing with his wife. But he doesn't bring her back. He leaves her there so he can concentrate on work. And then
Okay.
when he goes there, he relaxes. Now that was in the dangerous area of Mindanao, where the Muslim extremists are. But
What about
it's everywhere
snorkeling?
else is safe.
What about? There's one area facing the south, facing the Coral Triangle, which is very good snorkeling. It's like
that's
Indonesia.
Palawan.
Palawan?
Yes.
It's an
It's
an
a group
island?
of islands. Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Well, there's 10,000 islands there, and Palawan is where Jacques Cousteau. It was one of his
Yeah.
favorite places.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been over there too. It's fabulous. You'd love it.
Can you camp there, Ruff?
Oh, you can camp anywhere in the Philippines.
They don't mind.
No, it's wide open. The place is. That's what I'm saying. You don't have to worry about anything there. Asia's very safe for a woman too, in general.
I've spent a year going across Asia.
Right. Okay. So you know what I mean.
Well, the western side of Asia isn't safe, but I guess the
Okay, yeah,
eastern
well, that's where it
Asia
gets a little weirder,
dicey
yes.
with the-
Here. You really got a system here, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, I have to because I show movies on the street in the summertime.
You do?
Yes, I do.
Gosh.
Up in front of the drugstore.